This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
Hi, and welcome to another episode of My River District. I'm your host, River District Coordinator for the City of Owen Sound, Viveca Gravel, and you are with me in an empty studio today. We've done that for a very specific reason. This is our final episode of the season, and we wanted to revisit the best of Locals Love It Here. What we did all this year was, at the end of the episodes, for most of them, asked our guests why they, as a local, love it here, and we're going to revisit that with the best of Locals Love It Here, right now. Why do you, as locals, love it here?
Great question. Yeah. Do you want to go first? Or?
I love the businesses, obviously. Working at Casero Kitchen Table, and then I also worked at Heartwood Hall. I was bartending there for a while with Greg and Joanna. Coming into that community alone with those business owners, I just saw their innovation. I saw their just like energy to do well in the community, their love of the community, and nature. There's good nature
Incredible
here.
nature,
And that's, like I don't think I loved walking in the woods as much as I did until I moved here.
That's fair.
One of our favorite things to
true,
do.
yeah. No, it's just the size of the area, the size of the community is perfect for us anyway. You know, we lived in Toronto, we lived in Halifax, we lived in larger areas, and the size here of the nice tight-knit community, business community, but also just like friend community. And then the access to nature is like hugely important. The water and the hiking and the
good
beaches,
schools,
great schools. Yeah.
Great place to raise kids.
Sports.
Yeah.
We could go on and on.
Yeah, no, it's amazing.
I want to say a big thank you to Sarah and Robin from the Milkmaid for coming.
Thanks so much for having us.
And you guys each get your honorary Locals Love It Here badge of honor.
Fun.
Wear it with pride.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
And
I'm putting it on right now.
Why do you, as a local, love it here?
I grew up here. So, and when I finished school, I moved back here because I got a job right away. And I love Owen Sound. It's so community oriented. And there's a huge art community here.
Yeah.
And I want to be a part of that and want to be a part of the community. So,
well, thank you for being such a wonderful community member. Why do you, as a local, love it here?
Oh, I love Owen Sound, and I've always said this because I feel like it's a real town. It's a real working town, and sometimes I think it's a little forgotten on the path going up the peninsula and driving to Toronto. So it's like a little hidden gem with real people, great neighborhoods, and just so much natural resources around us with the lakes, Georgian Bay, being
the mountains,
there,
like you said earlier. Yeah.
It's super beautiful, but also a little secret still, I think.
No, that's perfect. Very, very quickly, tell me why you, as a local, love it here.
Okay. Well, I really just love the community. Everyone is so nice that I've ever come across, and the nature of our area is just beautiful. So I love that aspect of it.
Oh God. It's like she said, I like the community. You know, everybody's just still friendly around here. It's a nice sports town, which I like because I like sports. Just kind of, like the nature of it, real egg around it. So yeah.
I also think it's a community. It's a great community and a great sports community, and a lot of amazing people here that make it all happen.
Yeah, I probably going to give the same response, just sports community and how we're big enough that we have an OHL team here, which is awesome, but we're not a big city like Toronto is or something like that. I kind of like the smaller size community. I think is good.
Yeah, along with that, we have plenty of options here within the small area, I guess semi-small. The nature's gorgeous. We have the escarpment, and then the opportunities to play many different sports is just incredible.
Well, those are all really great answers. Why do you, as a local, love it here?
Yeah, well, it's probably cliche, and it's probably been answered before, but it's the sense of community, and it's neighbors. We moved from. I grew up in Toronto, and so you don't have a sense of community. You have a city that's always live and moving, and so moving to a smaller place as we've moved along through life, this is the smallest place we've lived in, and. But it's evident that there's community, that there's neighbors, that there's people who, it's nice that our house is actually on just a couple blocks from our store.
Okay.
And so we don't not only have a community where we have our business, but the same community is where we live and we work. Mm-hmm. So we see a lot of our neighbors walk by the store, come in. It's the same group of people that we see on our nightly walks, walking the baby through town and the dogs and stuff. And so that's really what it comes down to, is having that sense of community, having when something happens, everyone can come together. And just even like the music nights downtown and stuff like that. We'd go for a walk. The other night we were walking, and it was a little later than I normally walk our baby, and I walk up and it's like, oh, the farmer's market was full of people and full of music, and it was like, oh, well, I guess I have to change my route now, because it was just it was kind of a surprise to walk into this big group of people, but walking up to that, it was everyone just relaxing, enjoying themselves, taking in the community and the space that the city's provided. Mm-hmm. That's something that we've really liked here, is that we've taken these spaces, and almost any open space here downtown has been utilized for a small park, a parkette, something that we can use as a community. And I think that's been the big difference, is there's that actual sense of community, and there's the same people, whether you're at work or at home walking by. It's been a nice change. Yeah.
Well, all right. Well, then I can officially say that you, as a local, love it here.
I do.
And now you get a button.
Thank you very much.
To show everybody else.
And I'm sure I will prick myself in the chest when I put it on. And no, it's great. Thank you very much.
Okay, well, we're going to watch you do it right now, because I want to see how it ends up.
Oh, the pressure. Oh, no.
First blood on the TV show, yes.
That's a red shirt. Oh, I got away with it.
Oh, well.
Oh, that's a nice pin. Thank you.
Why do you, as a local, love it here?
I grew up in small town. I grew up just outside of Stratford.
Yeah. Sounds like a song.
I know.
Yeah.
And I just love small towns. I lived in Toronto for, Toronto and Durham region for 16 years of my life. And I did not love it. I got out of Scarborough, first of all, as soon as I could. And then when I moved back to the region and went to Oshawa, it was challenging. And so when we had the opportunity to admittedly, when we had the opportunity to move up here, I kind of balked at the idea.
Fair.
But then I'm like, okay, you know what? Let's do this. And I haven't regretted it since.
No.
Not at all. You know what? Where we live is super quiet. Our house backs onto an extension of the Bruce Trail, the trail that goes down towards Harrison Park.
Okay.
So I'm in the south end. And it's so quiet and relaxing. Our streets, a lot of people, we have a little, one of our neighbors actually a couple of years ago started a fair day for us, and we have games and we have a potluck and we have fun like that on a Saturday afternoon.
So it's just a really tight-knit community.
Yeah.
And access to trails and water and
you know what? That's one of the best things, and taking the dog out for walks all the time. But you know what? And for the River District, specifically, the businesses and restaurants that are in Owen Sound are awesome. Caseros has ruined all other Tex-Mex restaurants for me as a perfect example. I can't go to Lone Star down in Toronto anymore.
No, absolutely not.
No, their queso dip, it does not compare.
That's fair. Now, Janice, thank you so much for coming in here today.
Thank you.
You said you were a local, born and bred Owen Sounder. Can you tell me why you as a local love it here?
I love it here just because I like that small community feel, and hence the reason why my wife and I decided to raise our family here and come back and work here. So always liked it, always will.
Why do you, as a local, love it here? So with our 2.5 minutes remaining,
2.5 minutes,
just give me a really quick rundown of what you as a person born and bred, and Maxime as a person who has just been here for a few years. Your answers are going to be maybe the same, maybe different, and I'm very curious to hear what they are.
Growing up in the country, just love like the water, the nature, the trails. That's one of the reasons I really love it here. But yeah, the people, but of course, just being in the nature, and there's water everywhere. Like everywhere you drive, you can drive half an hour and hit water, and
it's not at a
great.
premium either.
No, exactly.
Yeah, it's just everywhere.
Yeah, and I love winter too. Grew up playing hockey, love skating outside, love going skiing, that kind of thing. So yeah, I really enjoy it here just for that.
Yeah. And for me, the River District is, like you said, I have the one meal, so having access to all the water and all the different products with the one meal is super neat. And during winter is kind of nice also because you can see, like, I love that contrast with, like, for me it's the first time seeing like the Chichimon, like, stuck in the ice, and like so you can have this like Nordic feeling. So it's like really nice town for that. And community wise, I think it's also pretty nice because everything is changing. As we said, we have like those podcasts coming in, and they are more like they are talking more and more about diversity and inclusion, which is pretty nice because they are talking about newcomers and stuff, and I'm a newcomer. So that's also why I love that community, which is Canada and Owen Sound specifically. Like it's growing. Like the population is going to grow by 40% in the next 20 years. So I think it's nice to be here. First, I feel privileged to be here, I would say.
Thank you for saying that. And as us both as locals, we know how great it is, and to hear it from somebody who's fairly new to the area, I think it really means a lot. So.
Yeah, but like for me, GTA is next door, and GTA is coming here. So for me, it's like, okay, I'm here. Let's crush it now before everyone is comes.
Absolutely. So thank you again so much for coming in. I wanted to give you your very own Locals Love It Here.
All right.
Buttons.
Nice.
I expect to see them on your backpacks.
Okay.
I'll be checking.
We will. Yeah.
Baking for Change is coming this fall, and I'm your host, Wendy Pauls. We'll feature some of Canada's best bakers like Jen and Astor, sharing their favorite recipes. And you can bake along with us at home, while supporting refugee youth like Crystal. And the amazing work of UNICEF Canada.
Check for days and times.
On Rogers TV.
Welcome to Central Westside United Church.
October 5th, 2014, my daughter was hit by a train. She was walking along the sides of the tracks, and it shattered her world.
Hi, and welcome back to My River District. Thanks for staying with us after the break as we explore the best of Locals Love It Here for the 23-24 season of My River District. Every episode, we ask our guests to tell us a little bit about themselves and why they, as a local, love it here. And we wanted to reshare that with our audience today as our last episode of the season. So here are the last few to take you to the end of the episode. I want to thank you both for coming. We've got about a minute and a half left.
Okay.
And I just want to ask you a very important question. Why do each of you, as locals, love it here? You're considered locals now, by the way.
Yes. I love it here because it's on the verge of really just becoming a great, almost an undiscovered area of Ontario. I think it's in the crossroads of so much to offer here between, location and amenities and just natural beauty, and it's the capital city of Grey County, and I think it's poised for incredible growth over the next 10, 15 years.
I feel the same way.
Thank you. Yeah.
Top that.
Yeah, no, I can't really, aside from, like I said earlier, I love, I've got 3 kids. We're within walking distance to Kelso Beach Park. We go there all the time. Some of the other beaches around the area, the parks, and it's just, and then you live in the city, right? So it's hard to have both of those things where you can get somewhere so quickly and still have the amenities, but yet still have the outdoor attractions and stuff. So, those are my favorite things of the area.
All right, we've got a few seconds left. I want to present you each with your Locals Love It Here. Why do you, as a local, love it here?
I do love it here, and it's great. And I think a big part of that, it's such a nuanced question. It's honest and it's gritty and it's unpresumptuous and it doesn't have its nose in the air like some other towns. It really knows who it is, and it's also on the kind of catalyst of a lot of change. And so there's just really great things happening here right now, and there's so many fantastic people, and it's a great place to be a part of that change.
Well, that was a heck of an answer. I couldn't have scripted that better myself. You definitely deserve your Locals Love It Here button.
All right.
I will be sending one back with Vita as well, because I know she is the other half of the business and a workhorse for it as well. So she deserves one as well. And just as we're wrapping things up, I would like to ask you very, very quickly in the last minute, why do you both, as locals, love it here?
Well, we touched on the community aspect and the support. I think that's really my favorite thing about the area. When we first moved here, I was immediately encouraged to join in with groups of people who I, to this day, am friends with. It's a very welcoming community.
We're pretty lucky in that. And yourself?
I think one of the great things about Owen Sound is it's kind of located regionally, like centric to a lot of great things that are near and close by. So just its geographical location and being so close to, if you want to go over to Southampton, like Lake Huron side, the sunsets, or if you're over on the bay side, maybe you are going to Collingwood, Meaford, Thornbury, and then so close to being up on the peninsula. And so like Grey Bruce and the surrounding area is just such like a naturally great area. And being in Owen Sound gives you the means to just pop around anywhere and then also enjoy everything that's like local and right here in town.
Well, thank you so much, both of you, for coming in, telling us a little bit about the Heartwood Heart World. I just want to ask you really quickly, why do you as a local love it here?
Oh, I love it here because I love working downtown in the River District. We have great dining opportunities. There's great shops to spend my lunch breaks in. And I love the festivals and the different events that take place down here. It's great.
Well, that's fantastic. So I want to say thank you so much for coming. Here is your lovely Locals Love It Here badge of honor. So please wear it with pride.
I will. Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming out today. I learned so much about Alzheimer's Grey Bruce. And why do you, as a local, love it here?
So I chose to move here. I was a working musician, and I still am for 30 years. And I used to do a circuit that would bring me through here fairly regularly. And the thing about this area versus other places is that it has always punched above its weight for music and art. Musicians and artists have been moving here since the 60s, and it has created this kind of place where, and you'll see it every time musicians come through and they go to a party or they go out to an open mic or whatever, and they're always blown away by the fact that world class after world class after world class person gets up, and you're just like, what's going on here? So I always thought if I had the chance to move out of the GTA, this was one of my top areas that I wanted to come to because the music and the art here is amazing.
Well, and here you are. So I think that wonderful answer gets I want to hear from you guys as being locals. Why do you as locals love it here?
Sure. Amy, you want to go?
Sure. I mean, I love it here. I love
Put you on the spot again.
Yeah. The golf tournament is in June.
Don't let your boss see that.
Put it on your hands.
I love it here because I think we have some amenities from the city, lots of places to eat, lots of grocery stores, as well as being close to all the outdoor amenities that we all love and appreciate for living in this area. It's amazing. Go for a hike. Love swimming in Lake Huron and Georgian Bay in the summer.
Georgian Bay is a little bit colder.
It is colder, but that's part of the adventure and part of the fun.
Not a big sports person, so swimming's off the list too.
Oh, jeez.
I'll get in a boat. I'll go fishing.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
That's a sport.
I'll be on top of the water.
Yeah, just not in it.
Not in the water. And yourself, James? How do you?
Yeah,
as a
for
local?
me, I love being here because of the community itself. And I mean, Amy touched on it, but the ability to have that we have a lot of the amenities that you want for me with a young family, the opportunities for my kids, they're all there, but it's all there within a small, tight community that's very community focused. You feel included, and there's no lack of opportunity for things to do, which I think is great. It's kind of the best of both worlds. There's a lifestyle aspect to it, which we certainly take advantage of and enjoy.
Absolutely. So I want to thank you both. You both get your, if you don't mind passing that down to James.
Sure.
You get your beautiful Locals Love It Here. Why do you, Jackie, as a local, love it here?
The people. It's all the people.
How did I know that was going to be your answer? And so simple and so clear and concise, which is all about you, and I love that. And so here is your Locals Love It Here official badge of honor. Please wear it with pride.
I will.
And we will come back and talk to Lise in the next segment. For coming, I have one more question for you before we wrap this whole thing up. I know time has gone so quickly.
Yes.
Lise, why do you, as a local, love it here?
That is easy. The events. Because I am a social butterfly, and there is always somewhere I can appear in Owen Sound.
That's right. That's right. So thank you for coming to all those community events.
You're welcome.
We have tons. You can only 2 minutes left. So I'm going to ask you the question that I ask all of my guests, unless I forget, which is a very real chance. Why do you, as locals, love it here?
I grew up in the area. I'm from the Chippewas of Nawash, so I moved away and then missed home so much that I found myself back here, and so I'm in town with my 3 kids, and it's just been a really great community to kind of return home to and explore, and it's just enough city for them that they don't miss being out in the city in Vancouver and then having the access to all of the fun hiking and nature.
Yeah,
so
that's basically my story. That's my answer. What's your answer?
I love it because I feel very welcome here. I love the fact that we've got the water close by. We've got the mountain just a short drive away. There's so much to do outdoors. There's so many beautiful places to walk and hike, and that's something that my family really enjoys doing. So, and I enjoy feeling as though there's a place where I can make a difference, and that's, even if it's a small difference, then that makes me really glad. So
every small difference is important. So I am going to thank you very, very much for coming on My River District and teaching us. Why do you, as locals, love it here?
I love the scenery, to be honest. We live in a beautiful area, and I feel like you don't really pay attention to it until you have visitors come, and then you go to all of the nice places and you're like, oh wow, we are very privileged. Yeah, I like it.
I would say that, and I love the community. We're such a great community that supports one another, and you see that every day, and I think that is just fantastic.
Absolutely. Okay, so I'm going to present you with your Locals Love It Here. Why do you, as a local, love it here?
Wow. I became a local here about 15 years ago. So I honestly left the city to move up here and have somewhere where my kids could grow up like I did. I wanted them to enjoy swimming in the bay and fishing off the pier and stuff that we don't do. I think the best thing I loved teaching my kids during COVID is someone went off their scooter off the pier, and the scooter went to the bottom, and I had to introduce them to the empty pop bottles, tie it to your bike and go off it. And they're like, what are we gonna do? I'm like, just grab your pop bottles and pull up your bike. It's just things that, I remember always going to Port Dover because I lived in that area just all the time. And so now it's my kids love coming and if we have the weekend off, going to the local beaches, and I don't have to even travel far. There's there's not. There's just there's Kincardine, there's Port Elgin, there's There's Kelso Beach, there's Wasaga Beach, there's Sauble Beach, you can
and
go
we're
all
kind
the
of
way
just
up to,
in the middle of all of it.
and we're in the middle of right smack dab in all of it, and it's just awesome. Inverhuron is really good. My kids love kayaking and stuff, so and that's probably one of the reasons.
Well, I want to thank you so much for joining me today. Do you, as a local, love it here?
I would say the community is amazing. Like, I know a lot of people. There's a lot of different things I can see. Like, I have great friends here. I love the library as well. Like, there's so many cool things you can do there. And it's just like, it's a really great place. Like, with all the, like, it's fairly friendly and like great people, great places. Yeah, it's it's a great place to live.
I love that answer. I am going to give you, why do you, as a new local, love it here?
Well, it's the community. Ever since, like, I've only been here for just over a year, and my first time in the River District was like maybe a week after I moved, and every store I went into, I just felt like I found my people. Everyone was so friendly, and I just felt so comfortable. And I just didn't leave.
That's right. Couldn't get rid of her, really.
No,
we tried.
I know, so hard.
I want to ask you a very specific question, and it is, why do you, as a local, love it here?
I love it in Owen Sound here because I've had, I don't know, people support me with my vision and what I think food should be and what I've wanted to do with food.
Mm-hmm.
When I first started doing this stuff, people were like, "Oh, you're crazy! People aren't going to come to this sort of stuff." And then I've had support from Anita DeJong. I've had support from my other chef friends, and I think that's the biggest thing, and especially just the abundance of local food that's around here. Like, we started using bison this year.
We have bison?
There's a bison farm just outside of Kemble.
No way.
Yeah, so we're using bison this year.
Okay.
The amount of fresh fish that comes out of Georgian Bay and Lake Huron is some like world class, best in Canada. You know what I mean? And just the amount of wild plants and farms and things like that. I think that's why I wanted to stay in Owen Sound and put Owen Sound on the map of Canada, because I'm from Nawash and I was born in Wyerton, but we're close enough that we can, you know what I mean? We can still put these places on the map of Canada as a food scene.
Absolutely. And I love that. And I want to say thank you so much for coming on the show.
Yes,
this is one heck of a way to go out on my season 3.
Yeah, thank you.
Want to give you your badge of honor. Locals love it here.
Thank you very much.
Because you definitely just encapsulate everything that means. Why do you, as a local, love it here?
I love it here because it ticks all the boxes for me. My family loves it here. Everyone's so kind. You can't go to the store without running into 100 people.
Sure. And honestly, I want to give you your Locals Love It Here badge of honor. Honestly, we just wanted to say a quick thank you for joining us for today's episode of the Best of Locals Love It Here. It's really important that our audience, our community, shares why they as a local love it here, and we all tell each other every day why this area of Grey Bruce is just the best. I want to thank all of my guests for joining me this season, and I look forward to seeing you after the summer break.
Connect with us by visiting our website or email us at comments@rogerstv.com.
Hello, I'm Liz Dowdswell, Lieutenant Governor of Ontario. In 2008, carbon monoxide, a deadly invisible gas, killed an entire family in our province. That tragedy led to a new law requiring homes with potential CO sources to have alarms. John Gignac's family members passed away that day, and he shares his story to save others.
Please make sure you have working CO alarms in your home. Protect your family today.
After a night out with your friends, not having a plan for a safe ride home can leave you in a bad spot. You could end up riding in a police car, an ambulance, or a hearse. These unplanned modes of transportation can